Well, howdy ho, my fellow club members. I'm the club president of the ADHD Anime Club, and today I want to educate you on honorifics. What are they? What do they do? Stick around and find out. So when I was but a wee little president reading one of my first manga, Kami-chama Karin, this happened. Okay, so this girl's name is Haimka-chan. Oh, but this girl's name is Karen-chan. Why is everyone's last name Chan? Are they related? Kazoon-kun. What's a kun? And first of all, to fix all these atrocious pronunciations, I needed to watch my own video about how to read Romaji. Unfortunately, it didn't exist back then, but it exists for you now, so do go check that out and figure out the correct pronunciation. Anyway, it wasn't until I read a few more physical manga that I was finally able to find an index for all this stuff I didn't know. Honorifics are titles or labels given to people based on their relation to you. In English, we have things like Mr., Ms., etc. Honorifics are much more prevalent in the army, captain, lieutenant, major, and it works closer to Japanese than you would think. For example, the first tier of relationships, perfect strangers, you refer to them by their last names. It's a sign of distance and respect. Now, you can't very well leave their name naked like that, so you add san. This is a gender-neutral, respectful honorific. Think sir or madam. Polite, right? Japanese takes the phrase first name basis to another level. I would liken calling someone by their first name to be the same as touching them without permission. It's normal as a sign of affection between good friends. It might even make you happy.
ありがとう、シャオランくん。シャオランくん？この前エレベーターに閉じ込められた時にね、シャオランくんって呼んでいいって。で、私のことはさくらって呼んでくれるって。
But overly friendly by a stranger for sure.
後藤ひとり修華高校1年です。
ちなみにひとりちゃんはさ、いきなり名前呼び。
お前って月本さんと仲いいの？
なんで？
ほら、呼び捨てだったから、さっき。
なぜか最初からだったよ。そのせいか威圧感あってさ。
へえ。まあ確かに親しくないのに呼び捨てって威圧感あるかもな。
Calling someone by their first name, especially without honorifics, is for close friends, lovers, and family.
名前で呼んで。私のこと、名前で。
え？呼んでるじゃん、戦場ヶ原って。
じゃなくて、下の名前で。呼び捨てに。
下着。
ありがとう、暦。まひるちゃんか。
なんだよ、急に。
いえ、久々に人に名前呼ばれたなーって。いつも名字でしたから。
まあ、仲いい友人がいなければ親くらいだろ。
For young peers, we have the honorifics chan,
まひろちゃん、ダイヤちゃん、
さくらちゃん。
and kun
緑谷君。
デンジ君、五条君。
for a bit more friendliness. These are somewhat gendered, but can be fluid. Chan is usually for girls, but can also be used for very young boys as well, or even as a term of endearment. Kun is typically for boys, but can be used for girls when being addressed by an older male of senior status. So no, not every girl's last name is Chan. It's just a sign of closeness and friendship. This is a bit difficult to translate to English, but I would liken it to a nickname.
しーちゃん、しーちゃん、すーちゃん、キロ、かわいい呼び方。私もそう呼ぶね。やめて。そう呼んでほしいのはお友達になりたい人だけなの。
And there's nicknames on top of honorifics, of course. Midoriya Izuku calls Bakugo Katsuki Katchan, because that's probably what everyone called him when he was a baby. A portmanteau of Katsuki and Chan. It's hard to change up the way you've always referred to someone, right? I have a family friend who's in her 30s, but we all call her Boo Boo because she liked to go brr, brr as a baby. Conversely, it's also possible to be close with someone for years, but still call them by their last name or san because that's just what you're used to. Now for some bonus info, if you ever see tan as an honorific, it's just a super cutesy way of saying chan.
エミリアだ、
耳貸して。ちゃんと返してね。
like saying whittle instead of little. This one is mostly used for babies, attached to names of mascots like Chitan, and is just a very cute and endearing nickname. Now this is more niche, but if you ever hear taso being used, that's a deliberate misreading of tan, since the n and so characters look similar. As if that wasn't confusing enough, there are also made-up honorifics like pi or pyong. They're all just ways to endear someone. We have these in English too. It's like saying Luffy Woofy or Luffy Poo. It's nonsense, but it sounds cute, right? What we've covered so far are honorifics for peers of the same age. Let's talk hierarchy now. People who are above you in seniority at school, club, work, or any organized activity are upperclassmen, so you call them senpai, regardless of gender.
先輩。
V 先輩
People below you are called kohai, but that's not an honorific.
どうしたキュウコ
なんなのこいつ。先輩だからって最初から呼び捨て。
来いよキュウコじゃないと迷子になっちゃうぜ。
If you ever hear the honorific pai-sen, that's just a goofy way to address a senpai you're familiar with. It's literally just senpai backwards.
パイセンしかいねえの?
Next, you usually hear sensei in anime used for teachers.
相沢先生
五条先生
コロ先生。
But this honorific can be used to refer to other professions as well. The term means one who comes before. Sensei can be used for lawyers, doctors, artists, and writers as well. It's a respectful title for a master of some sort of expertise. Shi is used in formal writing or very formal speech with a person the speaker is unfamiliar with. Specifically, someone known through publications the speaker has never actually met. Though it's something you'd usually only hear on the news in real life, you may hear it in anime because it's also used by otaku towards their comrades.
ミドル氏八神氏
It's a little hard to explain, but it's just so overly formal to use that it feels awkward in conversation. I'm gonna do my best to provide an English example from how it comes off to me personally. How there, good sir. Will I be seeing you at the D&D session tonight? See? It's so formal that it's ironic and kind of funny, right? And at the very tippity top, we have sama.
人種様。
ロール様。
姫様
This is something that you should recognize from anime. Some big shot important person way above you in rank is addressed this way. It's like saying lordship or my lord. This is obviously not an honorific that you would use normally, but you do see it in customer service. Customers are referred to as okyaku-sama, which can be translated to as dear customer. You may see it in religion, as the word for God or great revered spirit is kami-sama. In the anime Lucky Star, Konata changes up how she calls Kagami to Kagami-sama, and draws a lot of attention for how weird it is to use IRL. Tono, pronounced dono when attached to a name, also roughly means lord or master. In terms of respect, it's in between san and sama. It's no longer used in daily conversation, but in formal documents instead. You may hear it in historical shows, as it's a more archaic honorific, usually used for samurai or ninja of an equally high or higher rank than the speaker.
生松殿
赤座殿
I think honorifics are a very useful linguistic tool to gauge the distance between characters. So much so that it's a pet peeve of mine when they aren't included in translations. I hope I've helped you to understand their importance and clear up confusions that you may have had when watching anime. And now you'll be able to enjoy a bit of newfound depth in character relationships. If you have any questions on the topic of honorifics or have something you want me to cover, leave it in the comments below. That's all I have for today, and I'll see you, Nara.